Welcome back to Peril Pending, and today we're looking at another Reform MP embarrassed themselves over this by-election. Yes, it's happened again. The Emperor God of Reform, the King Emperor, the King God, whatever he is to them, has decided that he needs a sacrifice. He needs humiliation. And today, Nadhim Zahawi's been picked because they couldn't just admit that this by-election hasn't panned out how they wanted, wasn't the best thing to do in the first place, and maybe they should have just waited until the investigations had been concluded. Nope, it was the 5D chess move you wouldn't believe. It's from Laura K, the Sunday show today, so it's quite fresh. And well, let's just get into it.
A long time now, but there has been a real slew of claims and allegations about how your party and your party's leadership has been either...
First off, before we go any further, you're probably looking at this and being like, why is Nadhim Zahawi in an England top? Well, it's because, World Cup. I don't know if you heard about it. But why is the Labour MP sat next to him wearing black? Well, I don't know for sure, but I suspect it's to do with the recent situation with Anne Widdecombe. And she's wearing black in solidarity. Anne Widdecombe, of course, being a Reform MP. Nadhim Zahawi being a Reform MP. Why he thought this was a good idea, why nobody thought to say, look, mate, today is not the day to show your plastic patriotism. Just wear some black in solidarity. I don't know. And he's a plastic patriot, of course, because he'll wear the kit, but he won't pay the taxes. All right, let's continue.
They're looking after its finances, or frankly, not looking after its finances and not declaring things in a proper way. And there are more claims this morning in the Sunday Times about a close ally of Nigel Farage supporting the party financially without declaring things properly. Would you forgive our viewers for looking at all of this and thinking there's actually something really wrong here?
Before he does that, drop a comment below. Now, do you think he will be honest and say, oh yeah, I can see why the public would think that. However, and try to play it that way, like, more of an honest politician in quotation marks? Or do you think he'll do B? He'll say that no, because it's an establishment attack on Reform and on Nigel, and everyone's trying to dogpile onto him because he's going to be the best Prime Minister ever, and Reform are revolutionising politics. A or B? What do you think?
Pattern.
Well, I think what Nigel's done is the right thing, because in my...
What, to call a by-election?
Well, I tell you for why. Because it's up to the people of Clacton to back him or sack him.
Well, those who put B, congratulations, you win. Those who put A, I think that you're just swell. But going on to what Nadhim Zahawi said there, it's up to Clacton to back him or sack him, they said. It doesn't really matter which they do, does it? I mean, either way, it's going to be good for ordinary folk. But in this situation, let's say they back him. What does that even mean, Zahawi? What does that actually mean? Because if they back him and he gets re-elected and the investigations continue and then they find that he did break the rules, which we all know he did. You wouldn't have called this if he hadn't. He's going to get suspended and another by-election will be called, regardless of whether or not Clacton have currently backed him. This doesn't make sense at all. This is just costing the taxpayer an extra $250,000. It didn't have to, because apparently you're innocent.
I think that my experience is the sort of the Westminster circle, whether through a coordinated attack on Reform or otherwise, is
a coordinated attack on Reform. Nadhim, how is this a coordinated attack on Reform? These are the standards that every single political party and every single MP is held to. It's the code of conduct. It wasn't changed when Reform came in. It wasn't changed before Reform came in. It's been the same. You were held to the same standards when you were in government for the Tories for 14 years. You know this. Why are you lying? Are you that desperate for a paycheck?
Pylon to stop Nigel, to stop Reform from becoming...
The only person stopping Nigel is Nigel. He already had the job. And he's risking it now for this circus to try and distract from all of these investigations, which hasn't really worked. It has postponed them, of course. And I don't believe they'll continue if he's voted out. But if he's voted out, who cares? I mean, that's the end of Reform, isn't it? He lost to a bin. You'll never recover from that.
You've been a politician for a long time. You and I have conducted interviews over the years on many times.
Yes.
You know this is exactly the kind of scrutiny that's applied to anyone who wants to become Prime Minister, whether a gift over millions of pounds or whether it was the field that Keir Starmer had for his mother's donkey.
Right.
This
let me answer that directly, because you and I go back a long way. Right. Is it right that Nigel be judged by a kangaroo court of MPs?
It's not a kangaroo court of MPs. How is it a kangaroo court? It's the code of conduct. Does Nadhim know what's actually going on here? Or has he just rocked up after being in the pub? Does he know what's going on at all? It's the code of conduct. These are normal, standard investigations. It happened under Boris when he broke COVID rules. I'm sure, actually, you know what? I'm sure Nadhim called that a kangaroo court as well. Basically, I mean, this isn't going to help with your anti-establishment look, is it? When you're basically saying the rules apply to everybody except for us.
MPs who are all anti-Nigel. Is that right?
Yeah, they're all anti-Nigel. And then Labour are anti-Tory, Tory are anti-Labour, Green are anti-Labour and anti-Tory, Lib Dems are anti all them as well. If they were pro a certain party, they would be in that certain party, Nadhim. You didn't think this through, did you?
Authorities.
Right. It is.
Look,
There's no one on that committee.
Every single member of Parliament.
There is no one on that committee
opens themselves up to the same scrutiny.
There is no one on that committee that is actually. I really wish he'd finish that. Spoiler: he doesn't. Let me know what you think he was going to say. There's no one on that committee that actually. What? That actually likes Farage? Well, what does that tell you about him? I don't even think you like Farage, mate. He's just paying you.
If you do things wrong, you need to be held to account, and he clearly has done...
No. That's what everybody else has to follow. The anti-establishment Workers' Party of Reform UK, if they do something wrong, well, they're allowed to do it. Otherwise, it's a dog. It's a dog witch hunt, or whatever you want to call it.
On a set of things
the
that are
best
wrong.
scrutiny is the people of Clacton, because ultimately...
No, the best scrutiny is just allowing the investigations to continue. Again, you're claiming he's innocent. Farage claims he's innocent. Sarah Pochin claimed he's innocent. Richard Tice claimed he was innocent. You're all claiming he was innocent. So just allow the investigations to continue. Honestly, if you did that and you truly was innocent, you would have more weight behind you when you were saying you're anti-establishment, because then you could be like, look, they've tried to stitch us up 4 times. They were wrong every time. They're going to have a 5th one now, and that would have more weight than running from them all.
They will judge Nigel and they will judge the Reform Party, but the fear that he has put into the sort of mainstream uni parties, I think...
Remember that. The mainstream uni parties. I believe he's probably also including Greens and Restore in that, because... well, that doesn't make any sense. So that's exactly what Reform would do. But remember that. I think they're going to pivot to that point from now on, basically. They've tried the establishment line. That doesn't really work when his opponent is a man with a bin on his head. So now they're going to go to the uni party. Watch it. Watch this space. This will be the new top stamper on the Reform excuses bingo card.
At the moment, there is a coordinated attack on Nigel, on Reform, and actually the best thing he's done, because I saw this happen in the past where,
no, he hasn't. And I did a quick look. I can't find any example of something like this where an MP was under multiple investigations and then just quit to run again for the same role. Nothing like that has happened. At least nothing like that's been recorded as happening. So I'm not too sure where he pulled this from. And also, spoiler, he doesn't actually go on to give an example.
You have an investigation.
Do you think it's okay
you get told
to
you
take
can't
5
say
million
anything.
and not declare it?
No,
Do you
hold on a
think
second.
it is okay
First of all,
and
the rules,
legitimate to take 5 million and
yes,
not declare
because
it?
it's within the rules and it's been...
Okay.
It's not within the rules. And if it was, then why didn't he allow the investigation to conclude and show his innocence?
That is what
lawyers
will be
have looked
judged
at it.
on.
No,
That's what
absolutely.
he will be judged
but
on.
It was a private gift, unconditional,
pull the
before
other
he
one.
even...
It doesn't matter how often you spout your rubbish there, Nadhim. It's a lie. That's why he's running from scrutiny.
considered becoming an MP, so it's worth answering that question.
Okay, well, that argument
What
is
question?
going to run. As you say, people in Clacton will have a chance to vote on what they think about what's
Yes,
been going on.
and the Union parties,
the parliamentary
if they thought they could win the
authorities-
seat, they would have put candidates
Well, the
up.
parliamentary
But they didn't put
authorities
candidates
will
up
look into
because-
it in due course.
Yeah, they didn't put candidates up because they don't want to play his game. There's no obligation to do this. There will be an obligation to do this once the investigations have concluded that he broke the code of conduct, if they do. And then there'll be obligation. But they don't have to. Also, there has been no MP that at least I can find that has been saying, I could run Clacton better. I want to claim Clacton. Go on, put up your gloves. Put up your gloves, Farage. I want Clacton. No one said that. There has been no fight for Clacton. Sorry, Clacton. There hasn't been there's not been like a tug of war for who gets to run you. It's all manufactured. But obviously, you know, that was just Nadhim. He did pretty horribly on the Laura Kuenssberg show. So it won't surprise you to know that on the other Sunday morning show, Sunday Morning with Trevor Phillips, well, I'll let him fill you in.
We did invite Reform to come on. They decided they didn't want to, but I guess if they were here, they'd say they'd offered to pay for this, though I gather technically they can't do that.
Yep, that's correct. They decided not to send anybody onto the Sunday Morning with Trevor Phillips. Apparently that one was would have been too hard for them. Too establishment, I guess. I have no idea. The only thing I've got to say to that is kind of what well, Tice, you put it best. Yeah. You're all a bunch of chickens. But those are just my thoughts. Leave yours in the comment section down below. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. As long as the peril's pending.